Hello and welcome to the weekly edition. I'm your host Solo Witi, and in this segment where we talk matters business, entertainment and technology and what have you. But specifically in this segment, we are going to showcase two of the most watched interview, and among them is the most watched hyperlocal. But before that, our reporter Brian K is going to bring to you in depth the political issues happening in Daystar University.
According to the forefathers of our politics, the term states, Siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya. Now, fast track it to 2017. The same thing is playing out in our politics. Dirty from left, right and center. Now, GPS tracked the same to Daystar University Valley Road campus.
Following the damning report by Daystar University student president Johnston Mutua about the Wendy fiasco, the weekly edition sought to find out from the horse's mouth and other players as to why it was relevant to write an expose implicating Wendy as the chief suspect.
We had issues, and the government had issues, and they had, the boardroom fights. That usually happen in any organization or any form of government, and the issues were to do with the arrangement of the Mombasa trip, the recess trip. And so Stone had reservation, Wendy had different reservation, and we had to make a decision. I was their friends, as much as I'm not elected, but I was part of them.
It was an issue to do with personal interest, because we had a controversy between the chair and the social welfare secretary, and therefore that meant we didn't have an agreement between the social welfare and the president, and therefore that meant I was left out to handle the cash.
Now, the question on the table is this. Is the same platform and the same card used in our national government and cutting out of the politics in our country being used and having crossed over to our campus system? The question is yours.
According to the report, it is alleged that Wendy masterminded the misappropriation of a huge sum of amount that was part of the budget allocated for the Mombasa recess trip. Wendy, who heads the social welfare clubs, was mentioned countless times in the damning report.
It is clear in the constitution that the treasurer is the person who handles the finances. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to handle the cash because of the push and pull between the secretary and the chair.
The report paints Wendy as a schemer and a fraud as it tries to exonerate the DUSA leadership under the umbrella of Team Stone. Wendy Kibathi was the only candidate in last year's student elections that was not part of the coalition of Team Stone.
I think Stone was playing politics.
The first thing you do as a politician is you don't blame yourself. You pin the blame onto somebody else.
This lady was not part of his initial team, so there's always been that pull and push.
According to the report, the president alluded to the fact that he knew that Wendy was planning to swindle some of the money students had contributed for the trip. The question is, if he knew, why did he not act before it happened? Who allowed Wendy to collect the cash, yet they have a treasurer? Was this not a political campaign against Wendy to make her look bad?
Now, map all this one out to the kind of politics we have in the country. The same script at play in the national level seems to be the same one being replicated in our campuses. In other words, this is a classic move of copy and paste. We present the facts to you so that you can make your pick. Reporting for Weekly Edition, I'm Brian K.
Welcome back to the show. I hope you're able to learn one or two things from the investigative piece that Brian K presented to you. But did you know that as a citizen you can also be a journalist? Well, for more information about that, join me after the big interview that is just about to come. Welcome to the show. My name is Sol Witi. This is the weekly edition, and today with us is Mr. Stone, aka, and Stone Johnston is the president of Daystar University Valley Road. Welcome, Mr. Stone.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Stone, you've been in the government since last year.
Yes.
You've achieved a lot.
Yes.
You're very confident.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, can you just walk us through how has it been?
Well, it's been what you would call being in government, because really, I like to say it was a smooth ride. It wasn't. I like to say that it was something that you can deal with on an everyday basis, but I'd be lying because there's a few situations that have come up that were a lot more than we expected. But all in all, to the best of our ability, given that we've had to push against a lack of support from quarters that we expected to get support from, and by that I mean certain areas of the administration, I think we've done well. Not to say that the administration is entirely opposed to us. It is just that the direction they were taking and we were taking was off on a couple of things, and there was a little bit of an exchange of friendly fire, as it were.
Mr. Stone, the Wendy fiasco.
Yes.
Wendy fiasco. I mean, was it really necessary for you to write the expose?
Let me put it like this. I held off writing that expose by about 9 weeks.
Now, Mr. Stone, you have a treasurer, then there's Wendy, and then there's this whole saga coming out. Then there's these rumors that people are saying that probably this was a deal that had gone sour. Probably you didn't get your elephant share of what you're supposed to get. Then you thought that now, since I didn't get my share, now I should expose Wendy. Can you explain to us from the issue of the treasurer? Because I was talking to Enzo Veri, and Enzo Veri was saying that you and Wendy had issues. You guys were pulling back and forth. And Enzo Veri is in your government, true or false?
Yes,
so that is like your right-hand man. If your right-hand man is...
right-hand man.
Okay.
But he was in my government,
Exactly.
and I stand by what he said. I and Wendy had issues. Wendy has walked out of meetings in arrogance. Wendy has refused to attend meetings. Wendy has refused to come when it's her duty to welcome students, because she's social welfare. She has refused in more than one occasion to do the paperwork that is required to feed the students during a meeting. All those times, as a president, I should have lashed out and said, she's not doing her job, get her removed. Did I? No. I covered her every single time. And many of those times, she did it insultingly.
The buck stops at the president.
Listen, the buck stops at me.
Yeah.
You're right. I did my responsibility. I was overruled by persons with more authority. And I'll tell you why they overruled me. Because they listened to the lies she told that I was opposing her on purely the basis of she wasn't in my team. Now, when I ask for accountability by making sure all the money is in Safaricom, okay, through an M-Pesa service, or when I ask for accountability through all the money being given to finance, how is that being opposed to her? Why is it not suspect in your mind?
Why did you stop being vocal?
Why did I stop
being vocal? Like the way you exposed her. Why haven't you been so vocal about it? Like the administration is not doing this and this and this.
Good. Let me explain why I stopped being vocal. You see, there's only as much amount of fighting as you can do. As a leader, you must be wise. We fought last semester. If I came back this semester fighting, would have lost the entire period doing nothing but fighting. What I wanted to achieve this semester was at least a period when there is peace, so that a few things that influence students in a positive way can be achieved. Okay? The only problem is this. That seemed to some people like I've slowed down. Well, I promise you this. Watch this space. Within the next week, you will see that I have my fighting gloves back on. Why? Because the bottom line is this. Wisdom, not war, wins all the time.
Well, that was Johnston Mutua, the president of Daystar University. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, sir, for inviting me.
Thank you for your time. Welcome back to the show, and that was Johnston Mutua for you, giving us in depth what happened during the last 2 years trip to Mombasa, where we had the Wendy fiasco. I mean, he caught feelings, but we had to hit him hard and ask several questions. However, as I promised earlier, we are going to present to you the hyperlocal from one of the best citizen reporters. But before that, I want you guys to dial your numbers 22264 and vote in for the best hyperlocal, which we are going to show in at the end of this show.
My name is Abby. This is the weekly edition, and I want to talk about the Wi-Fi in Daystar. And with me are some students from Daystar, and they're going to tell us what they think about the Wi-Fi in Daystar.
I think the Wi-Fi in Daystar is very bad because 1 minute it's connected and then the other minute it's not connected, and you need to do assignments, and it's just like it lets you down so many times, and you pay for it.
According to me, the school Wi-Fi is good because I can access information I want online, but at some places I can't. But I would say 75% of it is good, and the Wi-Fi is good according to me. It works best for me.
Okay.
According to me, it's very slow. Sometimes I get frustrated when I'm not doing my assignments, as I'm watching YouTube, and then the video just goes halfway. Like it's frustrating. So I think there should be something about it.
Okay. Thank you so much for having us. I was your host, Abby Mwende.
Have you ever asked yourself why most musicians in Kenya prefer doing their music videos outside the country, preferably Nigeria? Well, our reporter Fiona Mungai filed the following report for you.
Most local artists in Kenya prefer doing music videos outside the country, preferably Nigeria. Does this mean that the country is lacking professional expertise in video production? Well, we go out to the corridors of Daystar to ask students what they think about the matter.
Okay, first of all, when you look at Nigerian music and our music, most people prefer the Nigerian ones. Even the how they shoot it, the graphics, it's better.
I think the Kenyan artists prefer doing their music videos outside the country mainly because of the quality.
The music industry in Kenya has grown so big. This has been evident from some of our very own artists like Sauti Sol performing in different platforms across the globe.
They think that having the top-rated videos is by doing with someone from abroad. That's how they categorize quality. And what they don't get at the end of the day, what defines quality is not who you release your track with, but it's the content of your music. Because we have many artists who were solo artists and they have their mark and imprint in history. And I don't have to mention international artists. Eric Wainaina, he didn't need any collabo to make his mark as a Kenyan pure artist and the respect he has earned solely as an artist.
However, for the young upcoming artists, this is just but a dream. Most upcoming artists are finding it hard to make it to the limelight. Most upcoming artists in Kenya do not have the financial muscle to go produce music outside the country, hence the low music video quality. But then, does this mean that our local music producers do not have what it takes to produce quality music? I am Fiona Mungai, the weekly edition.
Hope you're still voting in for your best hyperlocal. Here is the second and the last hyperlocal that we had for you.
Hi, my name is Anthony Baki and this is the weekly edition. And of course today I'm talking about Kenyan music, and I want to know what you guys think about the quality of music produced in Kenya. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
What's your name? Fiona. What do you think about the quality of music produced in Kenya?
I'd say we are getting that in terms of quality of music. Kitambo it never used to be like that, so I'd say I'm seeing some improvement there in that area. So if we get more music
and that our experience more producing quality work, I think we'll get where Nigerians.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me get another comment from among friends here. Here is another colleague of mine. Sir, how are you? Fine. This is the weekly edition. My name is Anthony Buck. Yes. What do you think about the quality of Kenyan music?
It's really poor.
Yeah.
We don't have a genre.
Yeah.
I think a lot should be done.
Thank you very much for your honest opinion. And then, lastly, I have another colleague here.
Yeah, fine. Abu.
What do you think about the quality of Kenyan music?
I think we are trying, though we are not at the best of our levels now.
Yeah.
We are trying and we'll reach there.
Okay.
Tutafika pia.
So you support local content?
Exactly. There's no way we pretend that we are at worse now. No. We are good and we will progressively develop.
Thank you very much. This is the weekly edition, and of course today I was asking guys what they think about the quality of Kenyan music. Support Kenya, by Kenya. This is the weekly edition. My name is Anthony Baki.
I need love to ease my mind. I need to find someone to call mine. But mama said you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. She said love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. No, I can't bear to live my life alone. I grow up patient for a life to come my own. But when I feel that I can't go on, these precious words keeps me hanging on. You can't hurry love, no.
We're back with more names and personalized messages on our bottles and cans. So now you can share a Coke and a feeling with family and friends.
Well, earlier on we were talking about the reason as to why most musicians in Kenya prefer doing their music videos outside the country. And we got a chance to talk to MC Joe, a musician based in Daystar University, and this is what he had to say. Welcome to the weekly edition, and in this episode we talk matters entertainment, and with us is MC Joe. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
MC Joe,
Yes.
there's a problem that has been going on in terms of the music industry in Kenya, especially with our local artists. People tend to think that most of our local artists prefer doing their music videos outside Kenya. Why do you think this is so? Especially, don't you think we have guys who are professional in that term?
We have. You see, there is something called trend, and this world is full of trends. Every time there is always something trending. See, right now the trend is when you go abroad and do a video, guys will appreciate it. It doesn't mean that there aren't good video producers in Kenya who can do such work, but if you go to South Africa, for example, the scenery is different.
So, in short, are you trying to say that Kenya is not good geographically, as in the government is not investing in terms of places where beautiful places where videos can be shot? Or are you trying to say also, because if you try to look at it in this way, Nigerians have Cesanoburo, have Peter Clarence. They do their own music using their own producers. And in Kenya, we have the likes of Enosolik and the rest. Why is it that you find musicians still going outside Kenya to go to Nigeria, and we haven't seen Nigerians coming to our country to do the same?
You see, most African artists have gone to South Africa to go and shoot videos, because in South Africa it's environment friendly to shoot videos. Even
what do you mean by environment friendly? Weather?
You see, like for example, in Nairobi, you can't shoot video like in town. It isn't free. Guys, the city council guys will come
and take your stuff.
Yeah, and take your stuff.
So if I ask
like now, you see, like South Africa, they have given guys that environment to do videos. So, and one thing, when if you allow guys to shoot like movies or videos in your city, it's like it helps in the tourist attraction, because guys are now able to see, hey, this is how Cape Town looks like, this is how Johannesburg looks like. And now you will find like more and more musicians will come to go, will want to come and shoot the videos like in the city because it looks good. But if they hadn't got that opportunity to come and shoot, if they hadn't seen some other artists shooting, it would be hard. See, like in Nairobi, it's hard to shoot videos in the streets, in the best places that there's some good views, and that's why you find like it's a trend.
Would you do the same? Given an opportunity as an artist, would you prefer doing your music video outside the country, or you'd stick with our own producers? I believe, are you doing communication?
Yeah, I'm doing.
So with all that you've gathered through communication, especially being a young person, would you like to explore what you have, or would you like to go outside the country to do a music video?
I'd love to do both. Like now, if I'm doing a song with a South African artist, just go and shoot a video in South Africa.
No, if you're doing your own music.
My own music video.
Would you prefer doing your music video outside the country?
It also depends on the script. You see, like now, maybe there's something you may need to be in a video, but you find that the technology or that equipment hasn't yet.
Are you saying that the producers in Kenya are ill-equipped?
No, but I'm saying that South Africa has better equipment than Kenya.
So in short, you're saying in Kenya, most producers have ill-equipped.
No, I'm not saying that.
You see, the issue is,
you see, in South Africa, it's very easy to access the equipment.
Have you been there?
I haven't been there yet. I haven't been there yet, but I know guys who have been there. But in Kenya, you may find, yes, the equipment there, but because it's scarce, the price of hiring is very, very high. So you just choose to go to South Africa, because when you try to weigh the amount of cash that you are going to use to hire that equipment, and just adding a few bucks to go to South Africa, going to South Africa will add more value.
I've seen even gospel artists such as Bahati going outside the country to record songs with Wasafi Record. I don't know. Is it like a trend, or is it like Kenyans, as in we see ourselves like we are still way back? Because I remember back then our music used to be very good. Though the video, we had very pathetic videos. That one you can ascertain. It was true. During the time of Issa, Nameless, when they're really doing good, their videos were very well. You can agree with that?
Yes.
And even up to now, if you look at our main producers, Enosolik, the guys who are producing for Sauti Sol, if you look at the quality of music that they're producing,
very high.
In comparison with their counterparts in Nigeria, can you say it's very high? To me, I think it's 2 out of 10. What do you say?
I think the music videos are good.
Well, that was MC Joe for you, explaining to you in depth with the issues of quality and the aspect of the music production, especially what you have in Kenya. We are trying to compare the kind of quality music that we have, the kind of video production that we have in Kenya, and that we have in other parts of the country like Nigeria. We are trying to compare producers at the likes of Cesar Novuro, Peter Clarence, with our own, like Enosolik. I've been your host, Solo Witi, and this is the weekly edition. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We are young. We are the chosen. Inside us, a spark was fueled, igniting our passion, driving us into action, to take paths no one else had taken. It is tough, but we push through, creating our plans, setting goals, defining new journeys to success. And with some help, becoming our own bosses. Blaze celebrates the young, those on the road not taken. Because when you find your passion, what you do has more impact. Join us.
Let's talk matters technology. Did you know that Daystar University is among the best university in East and Central Africa? However, Daystar suffers a major blow as far as technological advancement is concerned. Our reporter filed the following report just to show you the problems that Daystar faces as far as Wi-Fi connection is concerned.
The internet connection in Daystar University has become a pain for all that try to use it. Daystar, being a communication university, ought to have a powerful internet signal. However, students and the entire school staffs have had a very hard time using the wireless connection installed by the IT department.
The question remains, isn't it one of the essential tools that students and the teaching staff need in order for a day to run smoothly? Well, we go to the corridors of Daystar University to ask students what they think about the wireless internet connection and what the administration should do about it.
Personally, I've tried to connect it enough times. I've even gone to the ICT guys and you can connect it, but you can't.
There's Wi-Fi? Valley Road has Wi-Fi?
I don't really think it works in most places.
As one of the leading communication schools in Kenya, the internet connection is a total failure.
We have a pathetic Wi-Fi and we have to acknowledge that. And realizing that our computer lab are not enough for students, that means they need to increase the hotspots and so on. What we are doing is we will be coming up with the hotspots here at Freedom Corner. The other thing that we will be doing also is to talk to the university and see how to improve about that.
It in my docket, I tried to speak to them on how they can improve it. What they're saying, it's more costly if we get a better Wi-Fi system. So what our government is going to do is that we're going to have the hotspot, the one that we're going to place here at Freedom Corner. Probably that would mainly help students because we'll also have a charging spot so guys can charge their phones and their laptops and then use the Wi-Fi here.
Students are worried as most of the work given must be done using the internet. Numerous complaints have been raised both by the student leadership and even the teaching staffs, but the situation is yet to change.
Compared to other universities within the region, Daystar University literally performs the worst in terms of technological advancement. The question remains, do we blame the school administration or the service provider? Firdaus Hussain for Weekly Edition.
Welcome back to the show. I hope you learned one or two things as far as Wi-Fi problem facing the Daystar community is concerned. And just to wrap it up, our reporter filed the following report just to tell you the kind of problems that Daystar is still facing as far as food pricing is concerned in Daystar University.
Are you a student here in Daystar University? Have you ever wondered why the meal prices are so high here in Daystar? Well, we have some of the answers to your question. It has come to our attention that the administration here in Daystar has been charging exorbitant rates to the business owners here in Daystar, and this has been reflected to the prices of the meals. We all know that Daystar University is among the most expensive universities here in Kenya, but does that also mean that all the students here are from well-off families?
Most students in government institutions experience the best deals, from subsidized foodstuffs to lower fee rates thanks to government intervention. However, this phenomena is not experienced by most private sectors.
In my honest opinion, I want to say that the prices are quite high and it's really exorbitant for normal students around. But it is something that can be worked out and we find a way what can be good for our students, because there's a time. And if we can get a chance of bringing maybe the cheaper one, it's possible, it's possible. The problem in Daystar is that, in Daystar Valley Road, is that we don't have a space where we can bring the cheaper food as compared to this.
I think the main reason as to why our food prices are high, it's because first we've outsourced the services, and so the people who come in to set up cafeterias, set up canteens here, are expected to pay their rent and also pay their members of staff and everything else.
Daystar University is one of the private institutions in Kenya that prides itself with the best educational programs and what have you. However, when it comes to foodstuffs, the students are really pressed for choices.
here you'll get rice beef at 180. In Strathmore University, you get it at 100 bob. So there's a clear difference of 80 shillings. And so if I were asked, why not go to Strathmore, and I can walk to Strathmore and come back and have my food.
In a comparison with other universities of the same caliber, such as Strathmore University and St. Paul's University, we found that a simple meal such as ugali and beef costs a mere 100 shillings. Yet here in Daystar, it costs up to double or even more.
Food prices in Daystar University are very costly. In fact, some of the prices fairly compete with other 4-star restaurants like Java and Avanti.
Si kila mtu anaweza afford like samosa ya 30.
Food in university should be made affordable to all.
It's not okay because why is like food here so expensive than other places?
Having been given a ready market such as this, the business owners here in Daystar University should lower their rates so that the students can enjoy their meals. Reporting for the weekly edition, I am Ian Odhiambo.
We are young. We are the chosen. Inside us, a spark was fueled, igniting our passion, driving us into action, to take paths no one else had taken. It is tough, but we push through, creating our plans, setting goals, defining new journeys to success, and with some help, becoming our own bosses. Blaze celebrates the young, those on the road not taken. Because when you find your passion, what you do has more impact. Join us.
You wanna get to a man's heart? Well, give him good food. I've been your host, Solo Witty, and this is the weekly edition.